What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today we're going to be working on the laundry room renovation, and more specifically we're going to be doing the insulation and maybe some drywall. Today at least I'm going to be doing the insulation. I might be doing the drywall today, I might wait till tomorrow. I realized that this space cannot get done this week. I do not have the time, I do not have the energy, I do not have the capability of getting it done. I don't know how long it's going to be until I get this room done. I don't know how long it's going to be to do this wall. I'm thinking what I can do for the bare minimum this week is to do the drywall on all the walls that I can, do the insulation and the drywall, and then I can tape it all, and then when I'm ready to do this wall I don't have to do every single piece because it would already be done. So I might do that this week. And with all of that being said, today is the day that we're going to do it. Now, I don't really know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to set up my GoPro in a different area. I don't know if I'm going to do time-lapse or just do before and afters. But I think the time-lapse is the most enjoyable to watch. So we might have to do it that way. But I think what we're going to do is start on this wall and do all of the insulation and then do any other insulation that we need to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some drywall and bring it in here and then hang it up. I also am thinking, because the drywall is on the opposite side of this wall in the dining room and this is blocked, I don't think I'm going to open this door and let the animals come in here while I'm doing all this work. Mainly because I might cut the drywall in here and I don't want it to be a mess and I don't want them to get into it. So I have an option of taking it out of this room, going all the way around, going through this door and bringing it in. Or I can take it all out in the shop and cut it out there and go back and forth. I don't know what I want to do. I also have the option of adding in the actual door in this space. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I don't think I can do it all by myself yet. I think I might need my dad, and my dad is busy, and this week is a busy week for all of us. So, we're just going to do what we can, and it's going to get done when it gets done. I have some bad news and I might have some good news. I've taken almost the whole day on trying to install this door. And it may look like it's installed, but not completely. I don't need to put this door in today, and I don't need to do it in order to do the installation. But it would be, I think, a little bit easier to do the door before we do the installation. So I decided to go ahead and get it out of the shop and bring it in here. This would be my third door ever that I would hang. My dad helped me with both of these doors, and the bathroom door seemed fairly easy from my memory because all we did is we made sure the hinge side was plumb, straight, whatever, and then we added little spacers, and then we attached the door frame to the wall, and then we went and did up above there, and we did here, and then all of that just kind of connected together, and that was fine. All we had to do is cut part of the bottom door jamb because of the added thickness of the flooring. Basically made it to where it wouldn't fit in this opening. And it was the same for this door right here that I just installed. But I realized that I didn't need to cut the whole thing. I can just cut part of it because the flooring out here is going to be a different height than the flooring in there. So I just notched out what I thought would be good, and it actually is pretty good. But cutting off that much of the door jamb in order to fit it in this room made the door literally go into the flooring. So what I did is I cut the bottom piece of the door, and I brought the door back in, but I had the door jamb installed because it was going to be a lot easier by myself. And then I put the door on once I got the hinge side put on. And I think I was in the process of doing this side. And that's when the problem came. So right now it's not really installed correctly, but when I shut it, there's this massive gap along here. And when I had it all installed, it actually was really big up here and then got smaller the further down you go, which it kind of already is right now. The problem is this gap won't get any smaller regardless of what I do. And this gap up here is pretty even, I would say. And then over here, this gap is pretty even all the way down. So this is the only problem, is right here. Well, I can't do anything about it. And I think what I need to do, actually, that's the thing, is I think there's one thing I can do, is take this apart, because it's just stapled. I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to cut this piece. I don't know how much, a little bit, because if I cut it too much, I ruin the whole thing. I would have to cut the door, and I don't want to do that. So I need to make sure I double check my measurements, and I only cut this a little bit at a time, and then bring it back in here, glue it back together, put it back together, and put it in place. And I might be able to work with it. The other problem, which I might be able to fix just because I'm going to take the whole thing out, is at first this wasn't flush like this. The door is further in than this trim right here. But down here, it's the door is sticking out from the trim. And what you need to do is bring this piece in more, but by that point, you know, it is still kind of sticking out a little bit. Then you go on this side, and then you look at this. The drywall is further out from the door jamb, and up here, the door jamb is like flush with the drywall. I literally was in here sweating bullets and trying to get this door in. And I just realized that when I started doing this and I put it together and I was like, oh, this is going all right. And then when I got to this point, I was like, well, what? I know you want to go outside. But I got it together and I just told myself, you know what? I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna go on my phone. I'm gonna, you know, have a break. Well, that break took a while, but I came back out and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean this space up because it was pretty messy in here. And I'm gonna come in here and take this door off, and I'm gonna see if I can fix it, and then I'm gonna put it back on. But in order to do that, I actually might not put it on today. I might just take it off, seal up the opening, and then deal with it tomorrow because it is kind of getting late. It's 7 o'clock and I don't really have the energy to mess with it anymore today, and I think the best thing to do is just to call it a day. This video is off to a great start. I'm gonna go visit my brother a little bit today and his family, and before I had the plan to go do that, I came in here, I took the door off, and I kind of broke open the door frame, the door jamb. It was kind of tough. Those staples are actually pretty good. I'm thinking it's probably like ring shank freaking staples that are pretty long and thick. So there was 3 staples, and so it's two fingers in each, you know, and it was holding on pretty good. I did kind of split a little bit of the jamb here, but you can see this started to peel away, and I just kind of hammered the, you know, thing back. See here how it was kind of coming apart. But I think I'm actually going to cut this much off, which is an 1/8, and I think I double checked it. I think it'll be good enough. I don't think it'll be too much, and I don't think it'll be too little, and I think it'll make a big difference. But I'm kind of questioning on how I'm going to cut this. Do I want to use my jigsaw? Do I want to use my circular saw? I definitely don't want to take this part off of this side, just because I don't want to go through this whole process again. It would be easier to cut this by itself. Having this long piece connected to it really sucks. I'll figure it out, but either way, I actually figured out how much I need to cut. It's Wednesday around 10:30 at night, and I just finished the insulation on that wall and this wall where the washer and dryer is, and I brought these 2 back in here because Ellie's gonna come home in 2 days, and I need to do laundry, and I know she's gonna need to do laundry, and I am in a position where I can bring the washer and dryer back in here so we can use it, and then we can just take it right back out. I Ended up measuring and cutting. Actually, I didn't actually finish cutting, but I measured and cut all the insulation out. For this wall here, I'm not going to do it until I'm done with the electrical, which might be this weekend, it might be Monday. And after I do that insulation, after the electrical is done, I'm done with insulation for a while. Now, I've probably mentioned it multiple times by now, but this wall, I'm going to leave it bare. I'm not going to have any insulation in it, even though I bought all the insulation for it, because some of this drywall has mold on it, and I honestly don't want to mess with trying to put insulation back behind the furnace and whatever. I could do all that work when I take the drywall off of this wall on the other side. When I do that, I could just do the installation then. So that would be fine. That being said, tonight is done. I need to go take a shower. I'm itchy all over because of the installation, and I can definitely tell a difference, especially over here by the door. I can just tell a difference between, especially in this corner, I can just, the sound just sounds so nice. And then over here, it's a little bit different just because of the way the walls are set up. But I am excited for this to be done. I'm thinking Monday, my dad might come over and we might be doing some drywall work. We're definitely not going to get done, and we probably won't even do it. Like, we won't be taking it all day to do it. I don't know. We'll definitely need to get this wall done pretty soon, and then the rest I can kind of do by myself. I'm feeling a little bit better. I've been taking it a little bit slower. I realized that even though I wanted to get it all done, I can't, and also I don't need to rush it. I shouldn't rush it. And so I'm just taking my time. I'm trying to do everything right and not to redo it or be upset with it, because that's just not how fun, it's just not how it's supposed to be. The other thing I forgot to mention is I did put this door back in. I took it all out and I took off the top piece here on the jamb, the like trim piece, and I just trimmed this side about, I would want to say an eighth of an inch. And this gap looks pretty good. I mean, look at it. Like, that bottom piece is like the only one that's a little bit closer, but the whole thing looks good. Up top is equal. On this side, it is pretty darn close to being perfect. That's a little tight there, but I basically had to choose between two options. When I close the door, there's going to be a lip. You can kind of see it right now. See how the door is not perfectly flush with the jamb here, and how I can move it back and forth. I could kind of fix that by messing with the strike plate right here. But what I basically had to do is push this corner in more and this corner out more into the laundry room. And so the door, I found out, was warped. And so I warped the jamb in order for it to fit, because I didn't want it to be sticking out like this when the door's shut. So the only problem now is when I do the drywall and the trim, the drywall on this side, this jamb piece is going to be further in, so the drywall will be up higher. And down here, the trim piece is going to be further out. And it's going to be the opposite on the other side. Look, it's not ideal, I know, and I sat there and I was really mad about it. But there isn't a way to fix it and have it be perfect both ways. And I think I would rather have a door that's kind of out of plumb, like a frame, rather than the door itself being out of plumb. Like, I mean, I could tell it now, but in all honesty, this door is going to be open most of the time, so it's not like it's going to be that big of a deal. But just those few cases where the door is going to be closed, I'd rather have not have unnecessary strain on the lock of the door itself. But I need to take a shower and get ready for bed because I have a big day tomorrow. So. Okay, it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. I've gotten some work done in here though. First, I just want to mention, as you saw, my dad did come and help me, and we actually got the whole part done up to the washer and dryer on this wall. And then yesterday, I decided to take a little bit of time to do some extra work. And then maybe like a couple days ago, I did some more work. So let me just show you what I did. First, the drywall on this wall, got it all taken care of. That includes the outlets, the vent, the water supply lines, and that outlet. And then I thought of doing the window sill, the window casing, and I got it done. And now this will all be painted white, so it's not going to be this wood. But I basically just got a 1x8, and then I cut it down to 6.5 inches wide, and then I just put the 3.5 inch trim baseboard around the whole thing, and I just put it all together with these little nails, and then I slid it in place, and it looks fantastic. I wish, you know, actually it looks pretty good. You can see it pretty well on camera. I can't wait for it to be painted. I can't wait for it to actually be set in place and good to go. Last night I did do all of this installation. I finished up the electrical, so I think it was 15, 16, and 18 are now taken. So the last two that I have left that are spares are 10 and 20. And then that's it. And I honestly don't think we'll probably ever have to hook anything up to this, mainly because the only way to do that is to take the drywall off this wall and the insulation, and I'm not going to do that, at least for a long time. I did get, like I said, all the insulation here, got all the, you know, the areas, and I figured out exactly how I'm going to do it. I have a full sheet out in the shop, and I think I'm going to use part of that to do this piece and this piece. And actually, I only need 2 pieces, I believe, because it's 4 and then 4. I think I only need to use 1 sheet. I can't remember now. Anyways, I do have some extra pieces over here. This big long one I think I'm going to use for right here. And then the rest I might have to figure out. I didn't really want to piece together any of it right here, but I might. So the plan for this has changed already, so it might change again. But this wall, I figured out that it's only going to be 3 pieces. I'm not going to be reusing these, but I'm going to be using 3 whole pieces, and it should work. I just don't know if I'm going to do vertical or I'm going to do it horizontal. I'll probably do it horizontal, and I'll have my dad help me. But yeah, I got that done. Now the next step is the popcorn ceiling, which I'm just going to scrape it all off. I have a pump sprayer that has water in it. You spray it, you let it sit for a bit, you spray it some more, you let the popcorn soak up all that water. So then when you scrape it, it just falls off and it doesn't create any dust, because a lot of the time, especially in older homes, popcorn ceilings have asbestos in it. And you just want to be really careful with that because that can be really, really dangerous. So once we remove all the popcorn ceiling, then I can do the drywall on this wall. And then I can do all of the mudding and taping for the rest of the room. And then when I have the time figured out and ready to go, I'll take all of this out. I'll take these 2 pieces out. I'll do a little bit of work back here with some blocking and some other stuff. And then we will just go ahead and do the drywall there. Tape and mud and tape the rest of it over here, connected to the rest of the room. And then that's when I can do the texture, the priming, the painting, and getting it all pieced together. And that's when we can do the water heater back in place. When all of that's happening, we probably won't be having hot water, but we will have water. I figured out a way to get it to work in here. So after that's done, then you take up the ram board here, you put the baseboard in, you paint it, you caulk it, you do all of that, and the room should be done. But it's pretty great. Looks really different in my opinion already. just got done with doing all the drywall over here. It's looking great. I did have to do some weird cutting just because I can't remove these. I mean, I could really remove this. It would have been easy, but I can't remove this and I can't really remove that. So I worked around it and I think it still looks good. I'm like really excited. I even got this piece in here. So now that corner, what's it called? Corner bead, corner something, goes right here to cap this and protect it. And then, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty darn good. And I did get all of this scraped off. But I am super dirty, super hot and sweaty, and I'm ready to take a shower and relax for the rest of the day. I'm really excited for this. This is the drywall is one of the steps that is like the biggest step that you could take. It makes a world of difference when it comes to what the room looks like, what it sounds like, what it's going to feel like. And then after you're done with the drywall, that's when you get into the finishing work. And I remember saying this when it came to the bathroom. The finishing work is the thing that might take the longest, because you want it to be a good finish. You want to do a very good job, and so doing that needs to take time. I really don't want to rush things. I know mudding and taping this whole room is going to take a long time, and I think I have everything I need. I think I have enough, more than enough mud and tape to do this whole room, and I'm really nervous doing it. I know it's going to be a lot of work, because there's some areas like right here, you can see the shadow because of the lip. It's just, there's a lot of work that's going to go into it. So it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy to do it. But once it's done, that's when you start doing all the texturing, and that's when you do the finish work. But I am really excited because now, like, everything, I mean, even the freaking electrical panel, I mean, look at it. It looks fantastic. Of course, the plate, the cover plate is off of it, but it's right, nice, neat in there, and everything fits. And I can't wait to actually get all of this painted, and the windowsill, and just everything is gonna look really, really nice, and I can't wait. So yes, that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack that like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on post notifications. And we'll see you guys all next time.